sorry to the audio listeners. I really am. Or people listening with headphones right now. And Petey, who's here because he has to be.
I must have missed the memo and we're all blowing the horns, and I'm literally sitting right here.
We literally said it, and we said we're going to blow the horns, and you were sitting right here. But that's okay.
In Petey's defense, all I heard was Craig say that he was going to blow the horn.
And then I said, I will too.
Oh, I missed that part.
My goodness. All right. Well,
DP, can you put yourself on screen for a minute, please?
Please.
There it is. What did you call him before we went on there?
A narwhal. He looks like a narwhal.
By the way, since you're an expert on these things, do we know anything about narwhal behavior? Can we appreciate narwhals?
So interestingly, you would think I would know stuff about this.
Rails,
up until about like 3 years ago, I thought narwhals were mythical creatures. I didn't know they were real.
Okay, so you haven't done your research.
What is a narwhal? Do I know?
It's a whale with a unicorn horn.
Yeah, it's a unicorn whale,
which sounds like a mythical creature.
But it's real.
I know.
This is a narwhal.
I feel like it's completely defensible to think that
it's like a unicorn, but on a seal. Okay,
right.
well.
Yeah, it's more like a seal unicorn.
Are we?
Welcome to the Ocean Discovery post-game show. Seriously, thank you so much for tuning into the PHNX Coyotes post-game show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill. Happy New Year, everyone. Here with Craig Morgan, Steve Peters, and it is New Year's Eve, so we're going to celebrate. Craig brought champagne. We're going to pop some bottles. Cheers, everyone. We made it through another year of
talk. It's not going to be a fast process.
Okay, another year of just BS the Coyotes fans had to deal with. But we're also celebrating because the Arizona Coyotes finally lost a game, and hopefully this is the beginning of them getting back on track. I mean, who would have thought I would have to say that at any point this season? Finally back on track for the tank. Hopefully this is the start. Bummer for them, I guess, personally, that they couldn't get it done. But honestly, like it wasn't a horrible game. The first period, they looked really good. But while Craig does this, Petey, what were your
final
initial
score
thoughts?
on this one was 5-3, and for the first time this season, the Coyotes lose a game in regulation when leading after the first
Please
period.
don't point it toward the camera.
Yeah, the camera or the lights.
Or the lights, or the computer.
Or your producer. Excuse me?
Oh, that was good, Craig.
Talking to a pro here.
All
Cheers.
the technology is your concern, but you're not worried about him shooting my eye out. What are we
You'll
doing
shoot
here?
your eye out.
Is watching.
You're
I will
wearing
clean up my trash,
glasses.
so I'm not the guy that does that.
You're wearing glasses. Okay. Keep talking
No, but
about
again,
the game
so
as Craig
this
pours.
was the first period. And this is the biggest concern about traveling west to east and playing an early day game and not having practice. I thought the first period was going to be a challenge for them. I thought the first period they were going to be out of it. They get up to a 2-0 lead. And no way in hell did I see that coming against this Tampa Bay Lightning team. This team is prepared. This team usually starts well. I thought there was no chance. And honestly, I thought this was going to be a game that the Coyotes were going to get blown out.
Yeah.
And it's no fault of their own. They've been playing really good hockey. This is a good team playing at home on New Year's. There were just so many things
coming
against
down
the
from the
Coyotes.
high of playing Toronto, flying across the country.
So I thought this was going to be a hard one, and they surprised me the way they played in the first period. And I think, what were the shots in the first? The shots were 13-12. So the shots
Tampa
is as good as they've done all year in the first period, and to come out with the 2-1 lead.
And those two goals were 34 seconds apart.
And that got them jumping. I mean, again, it's their ability to get pucks to the net, people to the net, and play with a little intensity that usually doesn't come until the second or third. So it was really good to see that early in this game. But you are playing a team that's been in the Stanley Cup Finals the last 3 years.
You're really filling these glasses up.
Yeah. It's helping me to not participate in the talk about the game.
Okay, well, we'll keep talking. Let's kind of go a little out of order and get right into your keys, because that was actually your first key, Petey, was about not being jet lagged.
Yeah, because they didn't skate between the last game at home against Toronto until now. They didn't have a morning skate because it was too early, and they didn't practice. So this was going to be, I was concerned about that. Their start was fantastic, so they win that one. Ding. Cut the power, Tampa Bay power plays. This team is so good and has so many weapons, from Stamkos to Kucherov to Hedman. They get 2 power play goals. And again, it's the Coyotes' ability to stay out of the box that causes them a difference. And that's a big key, and I think they lost that key because they can't go in the penalty box against one of the best teams in the league. And Veggie had to be the best player on the ice. I mean, they had 35 shots, but I never felt this was one of those games where Veggie had to carry them, or Veggie had to get them through to the end. Do you know what I mean? Those games were, oh my God, Veggie was remarkable. He was okay.
Yeah.
But
He wasn't bad, though.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad, but he wasn't their best player on the ice. And I think that those 2 of the 3 keys wasn't enough for the Coyotes to get through this one.
Yeah, something about the game. I have no idea what you said, but I want to toast you.
Let's toast.
It's a little early, but what time
Is it though?
It's almost 6 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock.
My mom
somewhere,
is in
Craig.
England.
12
She's
o'clock
been
somewhere,
she's
like
been
in Bermuda or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's closest I'm going to get to midnight is right here.
It's 8 o'clock in Buffalo.
Thanks for that.
Jesus Christ.
Well, everybody, cheers.
Yeah, since we're not going live, obviously at midnight, we've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you
Happy
guys.
New Year.
Serious for a moment here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you gonna cry? Buddy?
I might.
You want some tissue? Okay. I've really enjoyed working with you guys. I really have enjoyed this. It's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah,
So thank you.
we were talking about that yesterday and today. This is a lot of fun. It never feels like work, and you two make it fun. And DP, thanks for all your help.
It's always you 2, not you 3. That's what it is.
Totally laughing in the
So
background.
Happy New Year.
Happy
And
New
looking
Year.
forward
Happy
to the
New
next
Year,
one.
Cheers, and here's to
DP.
draft lottery wins.
To you,
The
buddy.
Trolls staying out of our mentions, and
by
an
the way,
arena getting approved. In
Did you guys hear
2023.
we beat Toronto?
What?
Just saying. Cheers. Good. And again, this is great for audio.
No, it's good. It's good. That is good.
That's tasty.
It is tasty.
Little ASMR.
Thank you to my wife.
We will be talking more about New Year's, reflecting on the year, looking ahead, giving our resolutions, but wanted to pop our champagne. So if you're watching, if you grab your 4 Peaks or whatever, cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers with us. Water, hot chocolate, whatever you're
Sorry,
drinking.
Max, if that's a no-no.
It's okay. But let's do our best to finish talking about the game. And then Craig.
The game? You having a hard time looking
Craig
at me?
Craig can do a whole post game show on the TCU Michigan game right now.
Yeah.
Had that up going.
I'm still watching it, by the way.
But let's.
Coachy, what's happening over there?
Oh my God. We don't have to spend too much time on the game, I promise. But let's get into the numbers. Like Petey mentioned, it was honestly like more even than I think we're used to. I mean, 31 shots on goal by the Coyotes. Is
Over
a feat.
30
You
for
just
them?
knew they were going to lose.
Over 30 for them?
And that's literally what Sean said, because I think it was the second period and Totri is here and he said, should I like live bet the Coyotes? And Sean said, they have too many shots. Like, they have too many shots, so they're going to lose.
I
Like,
think
if
my
they had-
exact words were
Yeah.
they are turning in a respectable offensive performance, so they're going to lose.
Yep. So
There it is.
there it is. And that stands their 0 for 1 on their power play. Tampa Bay just taking advantage, 2 for 3 on their power play. And then Coyotes in the faceoff circle. Yikes. 35% to Tampa 65. So a little bit lopsided. It wasn't, honestly, like, it wasn't the worst game. It wasn't the best game. It was a game.
Yeah.
It was
So for
another
those
game.
wondering, by the way, Nick Schmaltz obviously did not play in this game. I know people are asking me after the Toronto game, is there any word on Schmaltz? But the Coyotes were waiting. They were evaluating him. It looked like he got a shoulder injury in that game, and he flew with the team. He's in Tampa. He's on the road trip, so usually what that tells me, and Petey would know this better than anyone, if a player joins a team on a 4-game road trip, he's going to play at some point. So they obviously don't think it's that serious. He was out of the lineup today. Laurent Dauphin was in the lineup. Also, people ask me, how did he get there so fast? Well, the recall was officially announced today, but he was probably on the flight yesterday going to Tampa with the team, and he was in the lineup today.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not too much longer for Nick Schmaltz, because obviously he's been,
He helps that drive that offense,
He
and that's
does.
what they were missing tonight. But again, you look at those numbers, and by the numbers, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, the shots, and we talk about face-offs meaning less than they really do unless they're important face-offs. So I don't look at that set. The rest of the stats, they were pretty close. I mean, this is a game they were in. They didn't hang on with Vejmelka being a superstar, and they go, oh my gosh, they only lost by a couple to one of the best teams in the East. They skated with them. They actually had the lead at points.
Not a narwhal.
And I thought, it's another step forward for this team to go, okay, beat Colorado, beat LA, beat Toronto, and skated with Tampa Bay. This is, again, just another step in the right direction for this team. And again, it's okay they lose this game. Tampa's a better team.
They've been struggling a lot on the road lately, by the way. They haven't been winning at all on the
You're
road
right.
lately. So
We talked about that. The last time they went on that 14 game, they started off hot, but it was horrific down the end. So
yeah.
we'll see as this progresses. They've got a few days before they play Florida, but you also have to keep in mind they're going to be probably near the beach. There's also a New
They
Year's.
might be out tonight, yeah.
maybe out a little bit tonight. So this is another tough road trip. Florida's not playing their best hockey right now. Florida's out of the playoff spot.
And
President's Trophy.
And then Philly and Chicago, like 2 teams.
And back to back.
Yeah.
So this is not an easy road trip. I don't care if Chicago's at the bottom of the standings. That's still going to be a tough game.
Oh, Sean is fist pumping.
From what I am seeing on Twitter, TCU will be playing for the national title.
Wow.
Apparently there's a botch snap on 4th down for Michigan. Ooh. I don't know if maybe, I don't think.
Yeah, it's over. Totri
Wow.
said.
Never in doubt. I try to tell y'all.
TCU.
Oh my goodness. Well,
that'll go well against Georgia.
Back to the road trip. No, the team will not play more than 3 consecutive road games the rest of the season after this road trip.
Because they're 2/3 of the way done with their roads.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that is a little
What have they
interesting
played? 23
nugget.
road games now? Is that what it is? 22, 23,
I have no clue.
22 maybe.
The limit
That was their road game number 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah, yikes. So
they have
Game
18
35.
left.
that's
Look at
unreal.
the math that you just did there.
That's the extent of it right
That
there.
is unmatched. I simply could never.
1, 2.
So after the week
I have
that
2
Coyotes
horns.
fans have had, beating Colorado, beating LA, and beating Toronto, this is okay, right? Like this is an okay way to end your week and end the year.
Sure.
This is not for New Year's. This is for, thank God they finally lost.
And if you have to pick a game to win, would you rather beat Tampa or would you rather beat Toronto?
Oh, Toronto. Every
literally
day
not
of
even
the
close.
week.
Not even
but
close.
It's kind of a given that they're going to beat Toronto at this point.
I know, in case any Toronto people are listening, it is kind of a
Hey,
given.
what's up, new Maple Leaf fans? Nice to see you here again tonight. And yeah, the Coyotes still own the Maple Leafs.
Petey, your socks have been
I know.
spotted.
Well, they're festive today because it's the New Year's, so
They're fun.
I went fun.
Almost as festive as
Almost
John
as-
Cooper's tie.
Yeah.
Oh
Baz.
my.
They probably would have
They
matched.
actually kind of do match.
Because when one thinks of me, one usually is synonymous with fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's what everybody says about you.
You guys, this show hasn't been on the rails at any point, so I'm so sorry that
This is good champagne, by the way. Although Leah tells me it's technically not
it's
champagne.
not from
because
champagne.
It's
It's not from
Champagne.
Champagne and Fro. But going back to the game.
Do we have to?
For 5 more minutes, we
Okay.
do. We talk about this all the time, but how different guys step up every single game. And Clayton, Nick Schmaltz out. Clayton Keller, he's been a little bit quieter lately. He had a point tonight. He had an assist. But then you get guys like Travis Boyd, Christian Fischer, who it's unfortunate that his goal got
Chicago
called.
guy? Have I mentioned that?
But
From
Fisher
Chicago.
could have been the
Christian
hero
Fischer.
till he got him within
Chicago.
5-4. Where's he
Yeah.
from?
Chicago. Did you know that? Played for the Chicago Mission.
Um,
Lives out in Wayne. It's a small suburb west of the city.
It's
Nick
too
Bjugstad
bad.
Likes to eat breakfast at
Bjugstad
Brunchies
scored too.
in
It's-
Naperville.
From
It's-
Minnesota.
Does eat ketchup on his hot dogs, but he's from Chicago. I don't know if I've mentioned
It's
that.
really
Christian
too
Fischer
bad.
is from Chicago.
It's really
Wow.
too bad.
I think he's jesting. And
It's-
giving that to me
it's
a
really
little bit
too
about
bad.
Bjugstad from Minnesota.
It's really too bad that Christian Fischer's goal got called off in the 3rd period because it was a great goal. It was. And Hayden would have had another assist on the night. Hayden, who's looked, I feel like we all agree,
Really
has
good the
looked
last
a
few
lot
games.
better
Yep.
the last few games.
That drop pass.
Oh my God, that drop pass
Between his
between
legs.
his legs on the Christian
Yeah.
Fischer goal. Are you kidding me? And
And
those-
feeling a little
And
bit.
those 2 goals, 34 seconds apart between, Boyd and Fischer. Amazing. Fischer's 7th goal of the season.
Could have had 8.
Could have had 8.
Could have had 8.
Could have 8.
But
Just a bit offside.
just a bit offside. Ironic. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then, of course, PD's guy, Boogie,
Boogie.
for the 2nd game in a row. His 9th goal of the season. He pretty much just took a Tampa Bay turnover and took it to the net.
He's on
and
pace
scored.
for 20.
It's unreal.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
unreal.
You should write about him.
Or somebody should read about it because I'm not right, but I'll read about it if somebody would write about it.
But
So-
seven different
Within the
Coyotes.
next 2 days.
7 different Coyotes had points today on 3 goals. So spreading the wealth around.
But that's what we said.
Yeah.
It's somebody different. It's somebody different. Tonight it was Fisher and Boyd. And I thought, when Keller's not showing up on the score sheet, somebody else is. And that's what's different about this team.
Yeah, and it's good because, look, Nick Schmaltz is out of the lineup. Matthias Michelli is out of the lineup. So you're missing a couple key guys. And I know a lot of teams can say that, but the Coyotes aren't rich in offensive players. So when you're out, 2 guys and you're still producing the kind of offense that they are, there's something to be said for that. They got 3 goals tonight in Tampa. It wasn't a bad showing.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. And then we saw Josh Brown drop the gloves with Pat Maroon. That was
Would
a
not
tilt.
mess with Josh Brown. Would
No,
not do it.
It's funny because I don't know if I appreciate Josh Brown on TV as much as I did live. when we went to the game, the Toronto game.
You leaving, Totri?
We went to the Toronto
You should
game.
do a drive-by behind us before you leave.
No, come
No?
on the camera.
Can you do a drive-by?
Do a flyby in your hat.
Where's Whitney?
And in his bad birdie.
And he's got the bad bird. He's got the hat on.
There he is.
But with
Crossover
Brown,
show.
I thought the difference with him live, you really noticed some of the details of his game defensively that I didn't notice watching him on TV. And he was better than I've been giving him credit for. Not like he's been bad, but he was a really strong defensive player. And I'm going to try to keep an eye on him a little bit more because he impressed me in that game against Toronto. And then tonight, things like that where you're sticking up for your teammates and playing tough, which he has all year. That's never been a question. But he's a fun player to watch.
Him in a fight, too. Like he went with Pat Maroon tonight, who's a tough guy. The thing about Josh Brown, he's got long arms, so it's when he keeps you at a distance in those fights.
Yep.
I mean, Maroon was threw like 3 punches that hit air because he's just not long enough to. And then Brown came back with the right, and he's a tough man to fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, honestly, like Nicholas said, perfect tank loss. I think we're sitting here. It's the last day of 2022. The high of beating Toronto in the context of the Arizona Coyotes season, which is the whole purpose is to lose games. That felt good. That was good, but it was getting a little bit. They were winning a lot, so let's just come back down to earth. And our new friend, Vaguely Sober from DNVR, we appreciate you so much. Said Happy New Year's, Yotes, bros and gals. Thank you so much for your super chat.
Yeah, DNVR and PHNX, the two ends of the hockey spectrum.
I'm not coming completely down to earth because I've got Lindsay's footstool.
Yeah, literally, Craig.
Which is off air right now. You can't see it.
Yeah, Craig has a literal stool that his feet are resting on.
It's orange, too.
Again.
For the Suns or the Coyotes.
Reverse retro.
So
it just continues the myth that is Bougie Craig.
I'm sorry, who has the tabletop over there? What's the table?
What's I can't see.
What myth? Oh my God.
I know, it's not a myth.
For you, it's about
it becomes a reality, doesn't it?
The red
I will
rope.
say Leah was the one out here. That's not real champagne today. So
yeah, that's fair too.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Hey, did you know that I studied abroad? Just kidding. Kidding, but not. But we talked about we talked about Christian Fischer's goal getting turned off due to an offside, and there was a lot of controversy today regarding offside. A call that was made.
Was it real controversy?
And I'm gonna pass it over to Petey Twitter, the Discord. It just the discourse, I guess, was that it didn't seem to be an offside. There was some confusion on the broadcast as well. So our former video coach Steve Peters is going to break it down for us.
Kind of knows what he's talking about.
I think there's a couple things here. I think one, people need to understand what the actual rule is, and I think that's first and foremost.
There you go.
Is to understand the rule. Once you understand the rule, it's easy to make the call. But there was a lot of things going on, and you say, oh, this is easy. Once you say, but you got to realize what's going on at the time. There's emotion on the bench. You're in a building that people are screaming and cheering and hollering. There's coaches yelling in your ear. There's a lot going on, and you don't have time to sit there and go, oh, well, if I'm sitting at home, I can make this call easily. Well, guess what? There's a lot more pressure making it behind the scenes. So I don't want to put any pressure on the Coyotes video guy or the coaching staff, because ultimately in the press conference, Andre Tournier has to answer for that. It's ultimately on his shoulders, and it's a relationship between the video coach and the head coach that makes this call happen. Okay, so let's start with that. The video coach has unbelievable video angles of this, unlike what we have at home. So let's start there. They see this differently than us. When you see an offside call, you should go, it's automatic. I rarely see an offside call missed. So let's look at the rule. We're going to look at a couple of slides that will help define what the rule is. So when you look at next time, you go, oh, okay, you get the rule. So let's look at the first slide. This is the first picture from tonight. Now, if you see on the bottom right, when the puck crosses the blue line, has to completely cross the blue line, and you see white, that is now in play. At that moment, no skate can be completely across the blue line. And if you look at the player at the top of the screen, he is completely on the inside of the blue line. So you would think he is offside. What triggers the offside is the puck needs to be touched by the attacking player in the attacking zone. And as we can see here, Brayden Point's stick does not touch the puck with the attacking player at the top of the screen in the zone. So go to the next slide. By the time Brayden Point gets ready to touch the puck in the attacking zone, Kucherov at the top of the screen has now tagged up, or in theory, got his skates to the blue line, nullifying the offsides. You can now play the puck in the attacking zone. Point can now touch the puck. That's what this call came down to. Point never touched the puck in the attacking zone after it crossed the blue line before Kucherov gets back to the blue line. Therefore, the play is not offsides. Did that make sense?
Perfect sense.
It did.
Okay.
Petey's Puck Talk Offside Edition. Thank you so much.
It gave me time to pour myself.
Yeah,
another
and
glass
it
of
gets
champagne.
confusing too, because if you don't know how the rule is, and at first glance you go, "Oh, he's offside," because look how far Kucherov is inside the blue line. He's a foot in, but there was no possession. The puck did not get touched, so there is no whistle, so there is no offside. In the Christian Fischer instance, Christian Fischer, both feet were across the blue line before the puck entered the zone and it touched his skate. Well, he was still in the attacking zone. Therefore, the play is offside.
All right.
That's the difference.
There you have it.
Can you be my designated driver tonight?
Yeah, Craig just poured himself a second glass of champagne.
Nobody else wanted one.
As that's because I'm still sipping mine.
Tara, don't feel insulted.
And I've got my club soda.
It's good, whatever the
It is
actual
very
name
good,
for what this
the,
is, because it's not champagne. I don't want to offend Leah.
Domain
It's pretty good.
Carneros.
So that is clearly
Napa.
the TSN
It's
turning
very
point, because not only did they not get the goal disallowed that scores on that play, they immediately are shorthanded and give up a goal.
Yep. That was kind of the,
right at the power play. And
that was
that's
a
why
huge turning point.
The change in those rules, where it went from losing your timeout to getting a penalty called, has become so important on getting those calls right. And what the intent was by Gary Bettman to the league, and he said this to the video coaches at the league meetings, the intent is to limit these calls, limit coaches' challenges. And if you go through the league right now and watch how many are called on goalie interference, it is extremely rare to have a challenge called, coach's challenge on a goalie interference, because the area is so gray, nobody wants to take a penalty.
To back it up with stats, Andre Tourigny in his 1+ seasons as Coyotes coach only has 5 challenges. He's
Total.
3 for 5. 3 for 5. So you're right. It's rare now.
It's rare.
They're trying to discourage it a bit.
And that's the point.
Trust the officials.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to bet on it, you better be sure.
Yeah.
You better be sure.
And the reason we're so invested in this TCU Michigan game is because there's money on the line. And Sean DePaz, what did you bet, Sean, on this game?
I bet money on both the TCU money line and the TCU spread, and they hit both because TCU is good, and not just as TCU
And
good. Michigan is fraudulent.
Was it plus money?
It was plus money.
Michigan is fraudulent.
So there you have it. Sean has been, I gotta say, Sean has been on a crazy hot streak on betting. So tail Sean anytime he gives out a pick, because he's been right on it. And if you want to get a couple last minute bets in before the new year, do so. Treat yourself. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up with the promo code PHNX. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code PHNX only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And I know we're drinking our bougie Brut.
Which is fair.
Brut, not champagne. But we were drinking Four Peaks while watching the games. You guys were drinking the Wow.
I was at 4 Peaks last night, actually.
Oh, you were?
Felt like I needed to go after watching
There?
LSU's performance against BC, but they rebounded tonight and won. So
They did.
good
They
for the
did.
Suns.
Did you go
But-
chicken
Damn
tendies?
straight.
I did go chicken
Chicken
tendies.
tendies.
And my wife
Amazing.
got the dip, French dip. Good
Love
stuff,
it.
too.
So good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd not tried
Can I
that
ask one more
before.
I'm a
question about
sucker for
chicken
French
tendies, though? On
that?
your 4 Peaks chicken tendies,
Yeah.
what is your dip preference?
I like to get an assortment, actually.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because it comes with the jalapeno, got a
Buffalo
little heat
sauce
to it.
and ranch.
Yeah.
It comes with a
Buffalo
little
sauce
heat.
and ranch.
Yeah.
You dip it in the buffalo sauce, and then
Then
you dip it in the
ranch.
ranch.
Yep. You can do that.
I'll go
You
with the
can
honey mustard and barbecue.
get their honey mustard's really good.
Really good.
Yep.
Okay,
Fact.
there we go. I'm sorry to
Had that
interrupt.
last night.
All good.
We're talking 4 Peaks, though.
But if you are going to a New Year's party and you need to bring something, bring a pack of Four Peaks beer. You can
Definitely.
literally find it anywhere you buy beer.
Had
And
the wow last night.
so good. People, I promise you, your host will be very happy you brought Four Peaks. And in just a little less than 2 weeks, we have a great event coming up that is presented by Four Peaks, and that's the inaugural PHNX Tea Party
Party.
at Dobson Ranch golf course where we are renting out the entire driving range with Big Drive Energy, the PHNX crew, Diehards, the PHNX Suns crew for a watch party, golf, food, drinks, contests, prizes, and more. Plus, Four Peaks will be there with beer samples and swag. So get in on that. You get a discount if you are a diehard. So become a diehard today to get that discount as well. There's going to be unlimited range balls, jumbo screens to show the Suns game, mini games, contests. It's just hot chocolate, heaters. It's just going to be so much fun. If you've never been to Dobson Ranch, it's seriously a blast. So we hope to see you out there in just under 2 weeks. That's January 13th at 5:30 p.m. Check the link in the description to get your spot right now. And for our diehards, check Discord for your special link where you'll save 20% on this awesome event.
Nice. DP, I gotta ask a follow-up that has nothing to do with the Coyotes, but I'm slowly getting drunk, so it doesn't matter. You mentioned that Michigan is fraudulent and the Big Ten is fraudulent. So does that mean when USC and UCLA join the Big Ten, they become fraudulent as well? And does it also mean that the Big 12 and the Pac, I guess back to Pac-10, should merge and form a better conference?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to tackle there. First off, the Big 12, a bunch of people are joining the Big 12. But yes, it means that USC and UCLA will be fraudulent. But neither of them were in the playoff this year, so I guess you could already say they were fraudulent.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, never did really carry the standard.
Yep.
For the Pac-12 like they were supposed to. So
yeah. Unlike ASU
good riddance.
football,
See you later.
We were the standard. ASU football was so.
All right,
back to the Coyote show.
Back to the Coyote show. We do need to crown a DraftKings King of the Game.
We do.
And we did struggle with this because, well, like Christian Fischer, if that goal had counted, maybe he would have been a candidate. Lots of players with points tonight, like I already mentioned.
Yeah, who did I vote for?
Who do you think? Boogie, the boogeyman. But we decided to take a broader approach here and crown the DraftKings King of the Game, Coyotes fans.
Oh, look at
for
that.
enduring another year.
Aren't you all adorable?
Yeah, this is where we gotta shout out you, Coyotes fans.
Coyotes fans for dealing with all the hate.
All the hate. Just this last week alone with freaking Toronto fans in the mentions on Twitter. Just all the BS this year with the arena issue, not having that instability, and finding out they're going to play at ASU, moving into ASU, the temporary locker room situation, not winning the draft lottery. Like, it was one thing after the next, and as it has been for the last 25 years. But Coyotes fans,
endure.
Not only do you endure, you do it with respect.
Yes.
You do it with a smile on your face, and everybody just loves the game of hockey and loves the Coyotes at the end of the day, no matter what. So we appreciate
a toast to you. Stay classy, Coyotes fans.
Stay classy, Coyotes fans.
Wow, stay
cheers.
classy. I like that.
Seriously, cheers. We all deserve it. And here's to hoping 2023 brings a lot of good things. Like we already said, some of them, a yes vote on the proposed Tempe Arena and Entertainment District.
I'm confident.
Wow, you get a drink and a half in Craig, and he's making proclamations.
I mean, there's some comms baddies out there saying it's not going to happen, but I'm saying it
if
is.
You know, you know.
Wow.
We're hoping for a win in the draft lottery. Hey, just because you finish last doesn't mean you win.
That's right.
The draft
I've heard
lottery.
That's right.
I've heard
just saying. So here's to hoping for a lot of good stuff ahead for Coyotes fans, because frankly, Coyotes fans deserve it.
It's about time.
But I want to know, do you guys have any New Year's resolutions for either the Coyotes or for yourselves? We kind of talked about this last year.
I got one for each. It's more for Coyotes fans.
Okay.
I got one for myself, and that's just I'm going to lose weight. I've been saying that for a while.
I was going to say, that's very similar to last year.
Really
but Craig did get a hip replacement in the middle of the year, to be fair.
I was driving in, I was thinking about what we all said. Craig. I remembered all three of ours last year. Just saying.
Me too. Yeah. Mine was to do a push-up, which I still can't do.
Okay. What was yours?
I didn't want to be a skinny fat guy anymore.
Okay.
And that worked. I did do that.
Okay.
I went down a pant size and I got rid of my middle.
It hasn't happened for me.
So 1 for 3 on the New Year's resolution.
Carrying this extra 20 around for the last 3 years.
Give your nice
So for
one.
Coyotes fans, and you'll see this tomorrow in a column, because I have a column coming tomorrow. This is just a promo. Everything's a promo for my stories. I feel like Paul Bissonnette right now.
Oh my God.
Got a column coming tomorrow, 12 storylines to watch in 2023. But the lead of this is my New Year's resolution to you that I will no longer freak you out about the fact that the Coyotes are not in one of those bottom 3 spots and probably not going to get into one of those bottom 3 spots because they're way too far ahead of the Blackhawks, the Blue Jackets, and even the Ducks at this point. I'm not going to freak you out about that anymore because, again, it's about time. It's about time. The folks at CHGO keep saying they are definitely getting Connor Bedard. I feel like they're jinxing themselves. I'm just saying. It's only an 18.5% chance, folks. Not even a 1 in 5 chance that the Blackhawks are going to get him.
That doesn't sound
there's
like
a
much.
lot of bad karma swirling around the Blackhawks organization right now. So I'm just going to go out and say, nope, you're not getting it, Chicago. You are not getting Connor Bedard.
I like Rick's comment. Happy New Year's, Yotes fans. From a Habs fan, you know you're getting Austin Matthews, right?
I
Well,
like
that
it.
too.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Caleb said, did someone slip an OGs in the brew?
Into what?
And into the
No,
not.
it's just enough champagne. We'll get the job done. So.
Do you have a...
Especially because nobody else is
I'm
drinking
just
with
going
me.
to try not,
drinking.
similar to what Craig just said about he's not going to get freaked out about the bottom 3. I'm going to try not to get stressed out pretty much about anything because as we know, literally everything stresses me out, and I'm
Big
not
time
going
off
to
the
do it.
rails. See you guys.
Okay, bye.
So
Carry on.
that's all. It's just I'm not gonna let the little things bother me anymore, and everything is a little thing.
I like that.
No more stress.
I like that. I think I'm going to try to not let the mean people on Twitter get to me because
Fair enough.
people are mean. Be nice. Please be nice. Not anybody in this chat, I promise. Not Coyotes fans. Coyotes fans are never mean. He's back.
Just need some more champagne.
No, we're good.
How about the posts tonight? Like,
I love you're trying to bring
no,
it
I want to
back.
talk hockey a little bit more, but Kucherov had to be a little frustrated tonight. That's all. But
The
as we
post
say in the
get an honorable
goaltenders,
mention for drafting.
but what do the
Take of
goalies
game.
say, Craig? That's all I
That's
gave
right.
him. That's all I gave him.
Yep.
That's all he had to shoot at was the post. That's all I gave him. Tough night for Cooch. I tried to circle it back to
No,
hockey
but
a little bit.
We were done for a little.
Okay.
We were giving our New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
Okay.
Sean,
Well,
do you have one?
For me or for the Yotes?
Either.
Either.
For me, not really. I've been saying that I need to get my ass in the gym, but I've been saying that for a minute, and it's not going to happen. I already know. For Coyotes fans, well, interestingly, I was on TPSP on Friday. Hey, you can go back and listen to that if you want, wherever you get your podcast. And this was our exact question, and y'all might not like to hear this. And I might not be as brave. I might not have been brave enough to say this now if I didn't have a glass of brute in me. But my New Year's resolution for the Yotes was just say, fuck the tank. Let the cards fall where they may, and the hockey god shall look upon us favorably
Wow.
for
I like
actually.
You know what?
playing.
I like
Okay.
it.
You know what?
I've been thinking about that
DP.
a lot. Like, stay classy. Like we're saying to Coyotes fans,
Stay
stay
classy.
classy, play
Yeah, that
hard,
deserves a horn.
compete,
That was good.
and you'll be rewarded with good karma.
Yeah.
Don't do what the Chicago
My
Blackhawks
exact
have been doing
thought.
for the
That was my exact
too long,
argument.
apparently.
And can I say one more thing? Because I do forget DP a lot, and I drop him. I say 2 out of 3.
Ah,
but
just said that out
here
loud. Said
in
the
my
quiet part
Sound
defense,
like
out
my
loud.
mom.
in my defense, DP, can I see you from here? I cannot. You two can see him,
You can hear him. You know he's
but I'm blocked
there.
by the thing.
He's producing the show.
That's fair. I'll shift my seat a
No,
little
see,
bit
I
so
can now.
see.
I don't see him. It's like the old studio where I just have
do
a bad
cut out
seat.
of your head and put it on the back of the.
I just have a bad seat. So
monitor
I'm
there so
sorry,
you can see.
Sean.
If this is your first time watching our show, welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
well,
not all- they're not all like
sorry.
this.
yeah, probably their last.
Yeah, not all like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back around to trying to do a push up. You know, that's on the horizon.
Yeah, we
but-
had
in
a
a row, huh?
2 years in a row. But
Both
I
of
will
us.
say this is actually my real resolution, and I think it also applies for Coyotes fans as well. But just to like change my mindset on a lot of things, because it's very easy to have a negative mindset and look at something and immediately say, ugh, like,
Yeah.
but instead think, like, spin it positively. And I think you can say the same for being a Coyotes
Yes.
fan.
I will say this, Leah. I respect you for saying that, and I believe in it 100% because I was down at the very bottom, and I spun that around to be happy, which got me connected with Craig, and Craig got me connected here. So if I didn't turn the way I thought about things around, I would not be here. So
Yeah.
I really, really believe in getting rid of the anger, the jealousy, the hate, the bitterness, and turning it into positivity and throwing that out there. I believe you get what you give.
And that's what I like about Coyotes fans too, because like Coyotes fans just take a whole lot of shit,
Yeah.
but everyone just like holds their head high. And for everybody else talking shit around the league,
Yep.
go for it. And we're just gonna keep enjoying ourselves here,
Exactly.
enjoying
Amen.
hockey in Arizona, because guess what? It's a thing. and it's working.
It is a thing.
Just saying.
And if you want to buy our book,
can I comment on one more thing? What Caleb just said. I'm all in.
Drunk
This
history.
is a terrific idea.
Drunk history Coyotes edition. Are you kidding?
Can we do that over the summer?
Caleb, we'll give you credit.
Terrific idea.
you are a genius.
And actually,
We'll give you credit.
Caleb might or may not be sober at this point of the day right now. No
It's
offense,
perfectly
Caleb.
acceptable on this thing.
We know
It's
Caleb
New
too
Year's
well,
Eve
so
and
there's
it's
a chance.
Saturday.
But that's an absolutely brilliant idea.
We got to do it.
Love it.
We
Love
do
it. We're absolutely
little
gonna
Four
do
Peaks. Four Peaks. I'm sure would be glad to help us out.
Yeah.
So we just need to get
Or
Uber
we
as a
could record
sponsor.
it. Hey, did you know that I'm having a party for the PHNX crew on
On
St. Patty's Day?
I thought you were gonna. Yeah, that's what I was like.
Jesus
We
Christ.
can record it at my house.
Six
Oh
months
my
from now.
God.
But yeah, that is great. That is an absolutely brilliant idea.
I love that.
I
idea.
think we need to get
should
somebody
definitely do
to
that.
come up with some topics that we don't know about, and then we have to tell those stories, and then we can, just like drunk, whatever, we put in the highlights and the
But no, it's
recreations.
dramatic reenactments.
yeah, we do the dramatic reenactments on top of our drunk speeches.
So good.
Caleb, you're a genius.
Genius.
You know what? We have to do. So we're making a resolution now
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah,
we also have to
that's
do.
our
100%
cruise
I'm in.
And I know
resolution.
people have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but they will. They will. We need to do our upside down show. We've been talking about it for a month.
Yeah.
Yes, we
For a
will.
month.
We
We gotta
will.
do it.
Promise. But in the spirit of positivity, let's talk about the World Juniors for a second, because lots of Coyotes prospects making an impact. Logan Cooley for Team USA today had a goal and 2 assists. And Canada is in action right now. No points yet for Gunther. However, Connor Bedard has 3 points on 3 Canada goals so far. So maybe if the cards fall in our favor and the Coyotes finally win the draft lottery, he will be doing that.
When are the
in
finals?
Kachina.
Is it next weekend?
Well, the quarterfinals are on the 2nd, so it's the weekend.
Boy, we could have a little USA Canada going right here.
Could be because
Would
USA
that
is
be
playing
unreal?
Germany in the quarters. They
Yes,
should win that
please.
game if they show up.
I'm
So
all
they should
about
be
the
into
USA Canada
semis.
battle.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to defend myself as the only Canadian in this office. but-
Caleb's already casting the show. He's got Jacob playing Marty Hansel because he's so tall. I
keep
am
going with
so
this,
about
Caleb. Who
this
else?
right now.
Keep going. Who's
I'm
redeemed
so
for
about
Bada?
this.
Who's Ray Whitney?
This is
That could be me,
Totri.
actually.
Could be
Oh,
Totri.
Yeah, Totri should be. Once again,
I am so
Petey.
about this.
Catching
Firing.
strays.
firing away.
It's not fair.
All right. Well,
Oh my
man,
God.
oh man. What
Brilliant.
what a way to end this year, sitting here with you guys, drinking
great.
champagne, talking about hockey, interacting with the chat, who, if you guys have been here through thick and thin, or if it's your first time, we're very excited to have you here. But gotta say, these chairs, this is where I want to be. Like, this is where I want to be right now. And those chairs.
Those chairs.
We literally, Totri's show was done hours ago. He didn't want to go
Hanging
home
out.
because why would he go home when he could be in the More Furniture recliner? And I got to tell you, there's 1 day left of this amazing offer for More Furniture. So it's a little late in the day, but tomorrow, Sunday, it's the first day of the year. You kind of get your shit together. Check out More Furniture. Buy yourself some More Furniture. Just finally get the couch that you've been wanting. Get the new dining room chairs. Like, do it. And right now, More Furniture is giving you free white glove delivery with a minimum purchase of $1,999. So
I wonder though,
let someone else bring your furniture to your house and
can we
set it up.
have Max do something with More Furniture? And we should rename that the PHNX recliner. So so they can come in and go, I want the PHNX recliner. And they know exactly which one it is. With
Like-
the power cord, the table, that's what they should do.
Like at More Furniture?
Yes.
This is what happens when we get a couple
so they
drinks.
should
We're
walk
like,
in. Like,
I got an
Ideas
idea.
start
I
flowing.
got an idea.
they should walk in and go, I want the PHNX
wait a minute.
recliner. Don't you think they should just call it? It should be right there. The
Then you hear it
PH
the next day.
because that is. Don't you want that in your house?
Yes, I really do.
I do too.
I just don't have enough room right now. But
Power cord, beer holder, table,
Your
recline,
place?
electric.
and there's a light that can light
Yes.
up the thing.
Leah lives in a 3,000.
Oh yeah, the
square
inner
foot
ring light, the mood.
penthouse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
if you've
anyway,
seen it.
if anybody at
Did you
More
know she
Furniture
studied
is listening-
abroad?
I've heard. That's how she knows that that's not real champagne.
I didn't even study abroad in France. I studied abroad in Italy.
Caleb brought up another good point. Can we just
Oh,
bring
okay.
in Furby and Whit?
I
to
guess
play
we
their
can
parts?
phone a friend, right? Phone a friend
One friend.
for the reenactments.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll play Wayne Gretzky. We look pretty alike.
Whit would actually
Oh,
probably
man.
play himself. I like that idea. And Shane?
Wit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
We could do the
get
Where's
him in?
Waldo.
We
Remember
gotta
the
get
Where's
Josh
Waldo?
to play Shane.
Yes.
Love it. That's
God, you're-
fantastic. That's perfect.
Listen,
Brilliant.
We could probably get Whit to do himself.
Yeah.
Michaela can
Yeah.
play the mayor of Glendale.
What?
Oh,
Wait
man.
a minute.
All right. Well, we're all here rocking our PHNX gear. They're matching if you haven't noticed. This is my first time wearing this hoodie. It's my new PHNX Flagstaff hoodie. I love it. It is so cozy. And look what Petey's wearing. It's the Die Hard only zip up.
My kid was sporting that today.
I got the Die Hard on.
Unreal. Like seriously,
That's
unreal.
really comfortable.
You can only
It
get
is.
that one if you're a diehard.
Yes.
And you can get 20% off on this and the shirts they're wearing and the hats that we always wear if
Not
you're
these-
a
Not
diehard.
these hats.
No, these hats you can find at your local dollar store.
Yeah.
Um,
You say noise, but never mind.
Party City?
It's actually true. So
Oh, okay. There you go. But become a diehard today. Lots of perks. You get a free shirt or a hat every single year at sign up. You also get access to the premium diehard level content, including Craig's upcoming story on Boogie. All right. And 20% off our merch and events. So definitely become a diehard. That could be your New Year's resolution. And I think
become a diehard.
January 1st is the perfect day to become a diehard too. Like just start the
You're
year.
off fresh.
And then you always will remember when your membership renews.
And you
if
get
you're-
another shirt and a hat. Or hat. Shirt
Or hat.
Or hat.
Love it. Seriously love it.
Love
So become a diehard today. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? Craig hasn't hesitated to say whatever he wants.
Yeah,
tonight.
I got nothing. No.
Now he's run out.
Stream of
He
consciousness
keeps
done.
interrupting me all show long, and now he has nothing left to say. Petey, you want to say anything else
brother.
about the game?
Well, no, we've got more show to do, though, don't we? We got 2 more graphics.
I
Please.
know, but I was gonna let you have
This
your final
game?
words first.
I never get the final word, but I am thrilled with the effort on the first game of this road trip and what they've done over the last 2 weeks. And this team has come together as a team from day one to where they are now on their 23rd road game. And they're fun to watch. They're impressive. They work hard. They never give up, and they're never out of a game. Even when they're down 2 goals to 2-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay, well, 3 times, but 2 in a row, Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. They're still in the game. This team has taken so big of strides from last season when they were out of a game once they were behind. So keep it up, keep going the direction they're going, and they'll finally learn how to build a winner once they get the right draft picks and develop them.
On that note, how much credit do you give Andre Tourigny and his staff for what you just said?
A tremendous amount. A tremendous amount. And I'll go beyond X's and O's because I sit there and I'm hypercritical sometimes over X's and O's. But what he has done to build the team and the attitude of this team and the work ethic of this team and the accountability inside the locker room of each other and the ability to pull a group together, I have to give huge high marks to this coaching staff to do that because that's the hard thing to do.
They love him. The
There you
players
go.
love him. Andre Tourigny signed a 3-year deal. This is year 2. Do you think at some point in the
Over the
spring,
summer.
do you think about do you want your coach going into the final year of his contract? Maybe it doesn't
You
matter
don't.
with him, but
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't want a lame duck coach, especially in a situation like this where you're trying to develop players. So I think that'll be a conversation for another day, but it's definitely something to put in the back of the minds of the management team.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I love dealing with a guy. He's unbelievable. He is. He's unbelievable.
I'll say yes when he gives us his family's maple syrup.
That's true. You do still owe us that, Andre.
Just
I know
saying.
you're watching. I know
Just
you
saying.
watch it
Yeah,
every
they're
night.
done with their last game. It's New Year's Eve. He's sitting in the hotel room
Is that
watching
true?
our show.
The Watts?
Did Gunther just score a goal for Canada?
The Watts giving us the updates?
It looks like Gunther got an assist on a third period Canada goal.
And
Score with that game?
Ogie Othar
4-1.
Ogie brought up a great point. Bear for Jack Adams. And I know this is one of those things that just... The answer to that question is absolutely yes, he should be in the conversation. He won't be because they're so far down in the standings. But what he's done with what he's been giving on paper and the roster that he has had and what he's been able to do with this group, honestly, he should be in that conversation. He won't be.
No, he won't be.
Because it's in the West and it's in Phoenix and they're low in the standings. But honestly, sincerely, I think he should be in that conversation.
They're in Tempe.
What did I say?
Phoenix.
Arizona.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. We already mentioned it at the start of the show, but Florida, Philly, Chicago coming up. But let's also look at those wins against Colorado and Toronto.
Did they beat? Oh yeah, they beat Toronto.
Hey,
None of those teams coming
They
up
beat
are
Toronto.
in a playoff spot.
Florida's shocking.
I tell you what, Florida is really struggling
and
right now.
didn't they beat Florida earlier this year at Mullet?
But one thing, Florida, though, look out because Sasha Barkov just came back. Gets a hat trick in his first game
And
back.
that's
They had a
big deal.
huge
I
win.
mean, he's their best
drives
player.
their offense.
He's their best player.
Yeah, and Kachuk's a guy that's on pace. He's over a point a game guy. This team has the firepower, but Duclair's been out. Sasha Barkov's been out. They've been missing big pieces. Uyghur's been gone. Forsing's trying to cover up with that, but they're still struggling a little bit offensively. This team can pour it on when they want to.
And we really want them to make the playoffs because Montreal has their first round pick. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes.
Just saying.
Then yes,
Okay.
we do. So it'll be
Yes,
it'll be a
Florida.
really
Okay,
interesting week next week because we look at the calendar all the time. Oh, tough teams. And now we're looking at maybe not so tough teams.
Yeah.
Will the Coyote does the slide begin now, or is this team going to continue to win games? And I guess we'll find out.
I think one of the teams, and I if they played the Chicago Blackhawks right now in a 7-game series, I honestly can't believe I'm saying this. I would give the nod to the Arizona Coyotes over the Chicago Blackhawks, and the biggest reason is Chicago's goaltending has been so poor this year. This game, though, it's a one-off game, and it's a back-to-back, and it's a tough back-to-back because you're playing Philly that night. You're not going to get into Chicago till late. That's a tough back-to-back.
Chicago's 1-9 in their last 10.
That's a winnable game for Chicago because of the back-to-back.
Okay,
It is.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll
hate
see.
to say it, but I'd take an 0-4 road trip.
I don't hate to say it.
I'd like to put them right back in the.
Listen, I can ride the Toronto win for the next 2 months.
Yeah,
No, and the tank.
The
and
Toronto
the tank.
sweep.
DP, do you have that picture, the banner they raised?
I can get it in a second.
That's fantastic. I love that.
I think that's something we should plan on using quite a bit, just as a reminder on big, tough losses like tonight. And losses like this are going to happen. We need a reminder of some of the good things that happened in 2022. And that is a season sweep of the Toronto Maple Leafs for the calendar year of 2022.
We tag, all those Toronto trolls when we send this out?
2022, the Arizona Coyotes beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in every single
Four
game.
times
in a row.
In a row. They beat them.
So let's not even talk about it.
So it's okay if they lost to Tampa because they beat Toronto 4 times in the calendar year of 2022.
Exactly. So
everything's fine.
Things you love to see, and everything is also fine on the punch card. Let's take a look. Sean's laughing, but
I was laughing at Caleb's comment. He said, "Bees, if you weren't here the whole time, Leah studied abroad and is being a real Craig about the champagne that is actually
being a Craig.
Like
being a Craig. I
Caleb.
love that. Thank you. The punch card. Listen,
Can they get a fourth? I don't know. I think 3 might be it.
I think we're almost done with another line, and that's what I like.
We can
to
talk
see.
later about that time we spent in the Sorbonne.
Oh my God.
Yes, when we got to Montreal, Craig and I ordered Uber Black.
Yes.
We
conversed in French the entire time.
But you know what I'm not bougie about?
What?
Buying tickets. Because I want the cheapest deal
Game time.
on Game Time. And that's where I find it. Seriously. I don't need to be bougie about that because Game Time will be bougie for me and make sure I get the best tickets for the best price. This is I speak from personal experience in using Game Time and how easy it is. Not only can you buy tickets, you can buy parking passes, and it will be the cheapest, guaranteed, up to 60% when you buy last minute, especially on the day of an event. So New Year's resolution, use Game Time for your ticketing needs. And when you use Game Time, the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in our description. We would very much appreciate it. And if you're looking for one last meal.
Oops.
I thought you said you silenced your phone. What happened?
Oops.
My God.
Blowing up. It's blowing up. Oh
What
my
is
God.
happening?
Oh my God.
That seemed like
So
that was on
embarrassing.
purpose. Oh,
It's so embarrassing.
I'm
Craig
so
has
popular.
many
I'm so
friends.
sorry.
Oh my God.
Sean, thanks for sending those 7 text messages.
Anytime.
Oh Lord.
More than my phone's
If you
beeped
need,
in 3 weeks.
Oh
God.
my God.
So awkward.
If you need one last meal in 2022,
So many parties to choose from.
go to the one that's catering Illegal Pete's because
See, Illegal Pizza is good.
it's good.
Illegal Pizza is good.
Man, I want that to be my last and first meal. Last meal in 2022. First meal in
I thought you were
2023.
talking about your life.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's going on
That
here?
was
I mean, listen,
Her final
Illegal
meal.
Pete's queso.
Leah has an announcement.
The Italian police are coming to arrest me. Oh my gosh. Chris just said the audio on the show has strong PHNX Sun Devils vibes. You're right. You are right, Chris. But we're really excited about Legal Pete's being a part of our family. Their food is phenomenal. I'm obsessed with their queso. I'm obsessed with their prickly pear margaritas. You can check them out off of Mill in Tempe. And right now, when you buy $100 in gift cards, they'll throw you a $25 one on the house. And stay tuned for some informal happy hours with the PHNX Sun Devils crew. If you want more PHNX Sun Devils vibes, that's the place for you. All right, you guys. Well, should we?
I think that's it.
Are we not going to spend any time talking about the fact that ASU beat Boston College today? I just want to throw that out there.
True.
I did mention it earlier.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it.
Josh Doan and Ethan Frazier.
Samaji?
The goal scorers, yeah.
All right.
2-1. They needed that win badly. I was at the game last night, and oh boy, ASU did not look good in that game. They're up against it. They've got like 5 regulars out of the lineup right now. BC had 2 really good players out, so excuses only go so far. But ASU is up against it. They needed to sweep that series. They did not. Greg Powers thought they needed to go 15-5 in their last 20. Well, they're 1-1 in their first 2, so you can do the math. They need to get on a serious roll here if they're going to make the NCAA tournament. They've got the Desert Classic coming up next. Cool tournament. If you want to watch some cool college hockey, go to the Desert Classic. ASU plays 10 straight at home. They just played the first 2, obviously, against BC, but they have 10 straight games at home. Another party offer. So get out and check out Sun Devil hockey. You guys already know what Mullet's all about, but I don't know if you've all seen the college atmosphere.
It's awesome.
It's a little bit different. It wasn't, and I'll say this, maybe that was part of it, against BC, still on break. The student section wasn't quite what it always
it's hard
is.
On break.
It was the same thing during the basketball game today.
While school is in session is unbelievable. I love going to ASU hockey games.
Yep, super fun. Check it out for sure. Great thing to do entering the new year. Cheer on Sun Devil hockey. I already did the final thought thing, but just this is our last show of 2022. Anything? Anyone have anything to say?
I already said how much I love you guys. So.
Yeah, this has been a fun year. There's been a lot of ups and downs, especially for this team, and there's no place I would have rather been than with you guys, with these people listening and watching. While you're watching us here too, by the way, hit that like button. You guys crushed it again on the Toronto post-game show with the like button. So,
and we're all going to be here when this team comes through the tunnel and as a playoff team and as a winning team, and we're all going to be sitting here doing the exact same thing, except we're going to be a little bit happier.
Yeah.
Yep. But
so let's just raise a glass to Coyotes fans one more time as we sign off.
Wait, should I pour a little bit?
Whoa, you finally finished that, did you?
For the raise the glass portion of the show?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. No, okay.
2 Coyotes fans.
2 Coyotes fans. We appreciate you. Cheers, everybody. Have a happy and a safe new year. And not to be that person, but we'll see you next year. Cheers.